This is reddogterrain. Welcome back to the shed. Today we're building a surprise monster in a pool. 2 weeks ago, when I was building the final battle diorama, I used Woodland Scenic's realistic water. Maybe it's me, maybe it's at the product, but at the edges of the shallow pool, it went milky. I had to pull it out, repaint, retexture, and go at it again. I used Gorilla Glue epoxy, and it turned out great, but it's expensive for such a small quantity, so I looked into getting some real resin. I ended up picking up Amazing Clear Cast, and now I just needed a project to use it on. And that was when Yerdua was born. First, I cut 2 pieces of XPS foam, 3 inches by 3 inches. Then I used a top from a spray paint, the wheel from a mouse troy to draw 2 circles. I've roughly cut out the ring with my handheld hot wire cutter. Then I cut the centerpiece in half, stuck it back in, applied glue, put it on some cardstock, and pinned the opening closed. Next, I whipped up a batch of Sculptamold and slathered it on the outside and somewhat on the cardstock. I also put a little bit on the inside, but not as much. I wanted to save as much room as possible for my monster and the resin. After cutting them out to roughly the same size, I let them dry, and then I spray painted the brown. At some point, and I honestly don't remember when, off camera, I painted the bottom with glue. This was done to stabilize it and also to stop it from curling. After that was all done, I randomly blotted the piece with glue and sprinkled on my sand and ballast mix. Next was some icy purple alcohol to help the watered down PVA glue spread. Some people call this capillary action, but I teach English, not science. The first shoe build I did, before starting the channel, I skipped this step. Still to this day, when we use those pieces, little bits of sand or flock or whatever flake off. I'm trying to tell you not to skip this step. It was somewhere around here that I did an off-camera dry brush and oil wash. Then I pulled out all of my mosses and flowers and tufts. I glued on a variety. I wanted there to be distinct colors and patterns, because when I swapped out the empty pool with the monster-filled pool, I wanted people to easily see that they were supposed to be the same location. Yerdua waits. Yerdua is always waiting. Yerdua waits for the foolish and the ignorant. Foolish who look into her pool for treasure. The ignorant who drink from her pool without permission. Yerdua waits for them to be refreshed and relaxed, satiated and full. Yerdua waits no more. Now it is Yerdua who is satisfied and satiated. Now Yerdua is refreshed and relaxed. Now Yerdua waits again. Man, this amazing clear cast works well. It's easy. You just measure it out equal parts, mix it all together, add a few drops of ink and pour it in. Yeah, it has a few bubbles, but it's nothing a heat gun can't fix. If you're thinking about doing resin and are anxious about it, don't be. I say that now, but once I have to make a barrier and it's not all held together with foam, I might have a different story. I went to the convenient place Dollar Tree and picked up a few Final Faction toys and 2 snakes from Kung Fu Panda. I gave them all a wash in soapy water and then proceeded to cut them all up and see if I could fit them back together. Super glue and baking soda make a very strong bond. It also fills in the gaps when things don't fit right together. I had to Dremel off some spiky bits and carve out a groove for things to have enough contact to stay together. I glued on the lower jaw, and then I glued on a few more pieces. I think these are supposed to be teeth, or maybe a shield. It was fun putting things together and seeing what worked, what looked creepy and weird, and what would hold together. But once I had a sufficiently disfigured shaped maw, I cut it flat to fit in the bottom of the pool. Is it me, or does this offcut look like a shark fin? Dun 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 dun. I painted all the monster bits in blues and purples. I glued down the mouth and then dry fitted the tentacles and arms in place. Once I was satisfied, I glued everything together. After that, I painted everything in a clear nail polish. It makes the creature look wet, and it protects the paint a little bit. My buddy Lad is really good at balancing encounters and creating challenging situations. I asked him to make up a monster stop block and abilities for Yerdua. He went wild and created a truly formidable monster. I've included everything in the description. Thanks, Lad. Also, if you've made it this far, please give the video a like, or subscribe, or comment. Also, Red Dog Terrain will be at Creators Con in Lafayette, Louisiana on September 23rd. If you're in the area, stop by and say hi. Finally, we made stickers, and if you would like a free Red Dog Terrain sticker, please email me your address. I filled the Yerdua pool with resin, and this one's ready for the table.